Today, we are exploring one of the humanity's deepest mysteries, the mystery of languages. Why different lands speak different tongues. Have you ever wondered why the world sounds the way it does? Why a child born in Japan speaks differently from one born in Nigeria? Why even within one tribe, one language, one ancestry, accents shift from community to community? Why does land seem to have a voice of its own? Why do different lands speak different tongues? Is it history, geography, power, or something deeper, something spiritual? The surface answer: isolation and time. Let's start with what we know. Human language changes when people separate. Imagine one community splitting into two groups. One group settles by the river, another climbs the hills. Over generations, small pronunciation changes grow. Words evolve, new expressions form. Eventually, they can barely understand each other. This is how Latin fractured into French, Spanish, and Italian. It's how English in United States differs from English in United Kingdom. Distance creates difference. Time amplifies it. But that's just the surface. Because here's the deeper question. Why does language shift even when distance is small? Why do dialects form within walking distance of each other? The land shapes the tongue. Geography doesn't just separate people, it shapes how they speak. Mountain communities often develop clipped, sharp sounds, speech that travels clearly across valleys. Coastal communities tend to stretch vowels, speech that rides the wind. Desert cultures develop rich vocabulary for sand, wind, and survival. Forest cultures develop dozens of words for trees, seasons, and spirits. The land determines what must be spoken about. In cold regions, language may prioritize precision. In trading regions, language absorbs foreign words quickly. The environment forces adaptation, not just physically, but linguistically. But here's where it becomes mystical. What if land does not just influence vocabulary? What if it influences rhythm, tone, even worldview? Language as spiritual frequency. Across ancient traditions, language was not merely communication, it was vibration. Sound was power. In many African traditions, names carry destiny. In many Asian traditions, tone changes meaning. In Semitic traditions, letters carry numerical and mystical value. What if language is a response to the energy of a place? Different lands produce different emotional climates. Different emotional climates produce different vocal patterns. The tempo of speech in a fast-paced urban environment differs from that of a slow, rural settlement. Is that a coincidence? Or is humanity unconsciously tuning itself to the land? Some spiritual thinkers suggest that communities develop a collective consciousness, and language becomes the audible expression of that collective soul. If that's true, dialects aren't accidents. They are signatures. Power, identity, and separation. There's another dimension. Language is identity. The moment two communities want to define themselves separately, language begins to shift intentionally. Pronunciations become markers. Slang becomes a boundary. Accent becomes allegiance. Even within the same ethnic group, dialect can signal status, history, resistance, or pride. Empires have always known this. Control the language, control the narrative, standardize it, and you centralize power. Suppress dialects, and you suppress identity. But dialects resist. They survive because they are emotional homes. The final question: so why do different lands speak different tongues? Because of time, because of geography, because of isolation, because of power, but maybe also because land carries memory. Maybe human beings are not just living on land. Maybe we are in conversation with it, and every dialect, every accent, every unique tongue is humanity answering back. The real mystery is not why languages are different. The real mystery is this: if language reflects land, What does your tongue say about where you stand? If you're watching this and you're not following This Us yet, but this message made you think, even for 10 seconds, then follow the page. Share the video and subscribe.